Hello. Welcome back to me. It's Monday Night Live. It's Yvonne here from Women's Fitness Adventures. Maybe you missed us last week. We certainly missed you. We were on our Great Ocean Road hike last week, we had a bit of a time clash. So couldn't quite make it to Monday Night Live last week. But here we are. We're back. And tonight I'm going to share with you 3 insights of my 8 years of running Women's Fitness Adventures, and also my 15 plus years of being in the fitness industry with women generally, I'm going to say over 50, but women in general. That's just a broad rule. So if you are watching, I would love to know. Hey, Bron's in there already. I didn't even have to say where are you watching from. Lovely to have you here, Bron. So if you're watching live, please drop me a note in there and say, hey, where you're watching from. If you are new, if this is your first time catching up with us, a very big welcome. And hello, Sandra, a very big welcome. So if you're new, please let us know that this is your first time and join along with the conversation. It's one way, but I do put all the comments in there and we have a good chat about them. So tonight I'm going to share my 3 insights. 3 so far of 8 years of running Women's Fitness Adventures. And you may be aware that it is our 8th anniversary. 8 years on the trail was where it all began, on the Great Ocean Road back in May 2014. And as you may know, I was there last week with a wonderful, wonderful group of women from Women's Fitness Adventures hiking the trail, and got home late last night and had an absolute blast. And I'll share some of that with you as well. So Annie from Stanley in Victoria, first time watching a live. Awesome. Thank you, Annie. Hi, Meg. Hi, Arnett as well. And hi, Simone. Lovely to have you all here. So last week I had said that I would do Monday Night Live, but we had a bit of a... and hi, Francis. I am home back in Brisbane. I had a bit of a time clash last week. Dinner was being served at 6 o'clock, so I couldn't miss that. And then we had some hiking preparation that we needed to do for the next day. So that's why we missed last week. I am back. You can see my hair is looking a little bit wild and woolly. I had, as some of you know, COVID a few weeks back, missed my hair appointment. So it's all just a little bit out of control, but that's okay. So we did the Great Ocean Road hike, and then the week before our girls did the Royal National Park hike, and then next week our team are heading off to Western Australia, way over there in Paraburdoo for Karajini National Park and Ningaloo Reef Adventure. So very exciting time in May, as it is most months of May, because it's our anniversary month. When I was on the Great Ocean Road hike, there were other hikers out there, not very many, and it was quite interesting to just watch and see and observe. And this was the 6th time that we have done the Great Ocean Road hike and Haisu. And I was listening to other hikers and our members, chatting with some of them, and realized that over that 6 years, we have made that hike really, really special. And I say special, and it's like most of our things that we do, where we take out any complications. I mean, sure, yes, you have to walk, but we take out the complications. So we take out, how do you get to the start, because we offer the private transfers, well, it's all included. We take out the, I have a food allergy or whatever, because we cater for all of that. We've done the hike so many times, we've taken out one little section that is just a really hard slog training section that doesn't need to be done, and we've replaced that with a beautiful picnic lunch. We don't ever backtrack. We keep going in one direction. We end up in beautiful Port Campbell. We have just built relationships with restaurants where we go out to dinner and breakfast places and hotels, and it is really an amazing adventure. And it's really through having built that relationship with our partners and our suppliers over the 8 years that we can truly, yes, it's a walk, Great Ocean Walk. Anyone can do it, but they can't do it the way we do. And I wanted to share that because that is part of what makes an adventure special, and one of the insights that we have here as well. Just sorry, got some background noise going on there. So one of the comments that came when I met, even though I had met them online, 2 of our ladies were from North Queensland on our Great Ocean Road adventure this week, and they met me in person and said, "Oh, you look so big on the screen." I probably do. It's just the program I'm using called StreamYard may make me look a little bit bigger. I'm not particularly big. I'm 5'2" and a little bit, but but this screen may make me look bigger. So if you're wondering, thinking I'm the gentle giant, I'm gentle, but I'm not a giant. So let me just check in with who's here. Sue from Geelong, Alison from Melbourne, Wendy from Sydney Airport, waiting for the second leg of her flights home, technically travelling home from the Royal National Park adventure by 10 days in Cairns. Lovely. And Simone, that's why Great Ocean Road is on your bucket list. Yes, it should be. It will be back again next year in all its beautiful format. And each time we do it, it just gets better and better and better. And 100K in 6 days of hiking is pretty amazing. It is no mean feat. And there is a big difference, and I'll talk about this, between a 2 to 3 day hike, a 4 to 5, a 5 to 6, and then anything beyond that. And I'll talk about that in my insights. So thank you for tuning in. I'm very excited about this evening. So the 3 insights that we had, so the first one was delivered in a newsletter a couple of weeks ago, was I did it for myself. So the insights are what I've seen and heard and been involved in for my 8 years at Women's Fitness Adventures. But also I have 15 years in the women's fitness and health space. And some of you know I have a marketing background as well. So I'm always listening out for stories and insights about women, because we all think that we have, all these things that go on in our life are totally unique to us. But it's not until you get to be around with other women and you start talking, whether you share a little or a lot, that you realize our stories are very, very similar. We might just have different characters and different people, different little plots, but there's very similar stories all around. Hi, Jennifer. Jennifer was with us on the Great Ocean Road. Amazing adventure, Great Ocean Road. Thank you, Women's Fitness Adventures. So it's actually Great Ocean Walk, but if you say Great Ocean Walk, no one really knows where it is, so we call it Great Ocean Road Hike. So the first insight, I did it for myself. The second one is, if you received tonight's newsletter, was the stories we tell ourselves. And the third one was everyone needs a coach. And there'll be more insights over the rest of the week. But firstly, I did it for myself, and that was in the newsletter a couple of weeks ago. It's, there's lots of stories, but Merline's story is one I will share. And she was on our very first Great Ocean Road. And when we were doing the river crossing at Parker River there, or Parker Inlet, I thought of Merline. And I think I may have said that, she's done lots of travel all over the world. She has traveled a lot with her husband, and this adventure, her first Great Ocean Road adventure, was one where she did it for herself. And that doing it for yourself can be for fitness, it can be for a sense of achievement, it can be for an escape, it can be for friendships, for the community, for believing in yourself, for overcoming fears, for committing to something. It can be anything, but when you choose something that's I hate the word just, when you choose something that is for you, it takes on a whole new meaning, and you become extremely proud of your achievement when you do it for yourself. So you're not doing it for, there's no other reason than doing it for yourself. There's a reason that you're doing it for yourself, but there's no, you're not justifying, I'm doing it because my family thought it was a good idea. I'm doing it because, such and such did it when they were a child. You're actually doing it for yourself. You're doing it for a purpose of moving forward or moving away from something, and doing it for yourself. And Merline's story was quite amazing. There was this river crossing, and she had hurt her foot early in the week, and we had to take shoes off and then put shoes on, and there was going to be a strapping issue around her foot. And so I said, look, we'll help you across the river. She went, no way, this is mine. I am doing this for myself. I can achieve the whole thing. And when she got picked up at the airport, her husband couldn't believe just the smile on her face. And he said to her, what happened? And she said, I did this for myself. I did it for me. And for the first time, when we travel with family and friends, we're kind of doing stuff for everybody else, or someone else might take the reins. And this was something that she did for herself. And she's been an advocate and an adventurer ever since, and also comes into the coach story at the end. So the second insight is the stories we tell ourselves. And if you've been listening for a while, you might know this story as well. And please comment, please have, if you agree or disagree or have your own story, happy to share. I'd love to see it on here, whether you're watching live or the replay. So the stories we tell ourselves, they can really be whatever we want. So I hear lots of stories, and I can make up my own stories too. So I'm a runner. I'm going to use the runner analogy. I'm a runner. And when I say to people I run, they tell me all the reasons they can't run. Look, they've asked me, do you run? Yes, I run. And then they tell me all the reasons they can't run. The question was asked about me. It wasn't asked about them. I can't run because I hurt my foot 25 years ago. I can't run because I don't have time. I've tried that before, all sorts of things. And when it comes to women's fitness adventures, there's a whole lot of stories we can tell ourselves and a whole lot of myths as well, that you have to be fit to go on an adventure or to belong to our community. You have to, you don't have time. I don't have time for that. How could I possibly have time for that? I work, I, look after family, I look after this, I look after that. We all have time for what's important, and I've spoken about this before, but we need to own our story. If hiking's not your thing or cooking's not your thing, then own it. Have a story around owning it. Another myth, you have to be fit to join women's fitness adventures. That is the biggest myth ever. I have seen over 8 years an amazing transformation of so many women who, as I always say, put one foot in front of the other. There are so many, and I pulled them all out last week. There are so many analogies of hiking and life. We may not know what's around the next bend, but we actually have to go to the next bend to find it out. And on our adventures, we have an awards night at the end. And if you read tonight's newsletter, you know that we kind of were the center of attention at the restaurant because we were having such a hoot. And we give out awards at the end of each adventure in recognition of what we've achieved, and also a celebration of every woman on that adventure. And the awards are things that have happened during the week, and they're all in good fun. And we always have one award that is consistent, and that is our Spirit Award. And that Spirit Award is for the woman who embraces everything that Women's Fitness Adventures is. It's the ethos of who we are, and having that confidence to take the first step. And we may not know where that first step goes. And for having faith in herself, for having confidence in others and the community around her to keep going forward, to, embrace our ethos of being bold and being brave and being humble. And with the support, it's an amazing thing. And our recipient of the Women's Fitness Adventures Spirit Award on the Great Ocean Road Adventure, I won't name her because they're all that kind of stay on the adventure, had joined us at the 5 kilometres for 5 days challenge last May, and was sitting on the fence whether to continue her membership or not at the end. And when I don't know, does not like walking without a purpose, I should add, without a purpose. And then decided to commit to the Great Ocean Road Adventure, and said to me on the trail that there were many times that she felt she could have given up if she didn't have that goal, didn't have that purpose, and has gone on to lose her pack weight of her body in body weight. So a pack weighs anywhere from 7 to 9 kilos, and she's done this by walking. So she would walk for a purpose. So if she had to drop her car off for a service, she'd drop the car off and walk home, or walk to the supermarket or anything like that. But that Spirit Award is for someone who didn't like walking, for someone who was pretty, reasonably inactive. It would be easier to sit on the couch than to get up and move. Was just such an amazing thing, because we can encourage and we can support, but the action lies within that person. And it's such a beautiful gift to be able to give a Spirit Award, because the Spirit Award just reinforces all the goodness that there is in the world, because we have it all inside us. We have all that goodness, we have all that courage, we have all that strength. And when that's recognized and honored within ourselves, by ourselves and by others, it's just such a transformational thing. So let me check in on the comments. So Bron says, I just spoke straight to my heart. I've told myself the I can't because for way too long. Yeah, absolutely. I am with you, Bron. And, I do it too. I'm not, I'm no different to anybody else. I maybe just talk about it a little bit more and hope that someone out there relates to it in the same way that I do. But Bron says she's now part of this group and stepping into me. Yep. And I think as I go on a little bit more, we need to give ourselves the permission that it's okay to let go of some stories that aren't serving us, to let other stories in who we get so busy doing that we forget about being. And I know that's a bit of a cliche, but the who do we want to be? And I've spoken about this before. Who do we want to be? And on that trail, we can actually be anyone because we don't have to be anyone. So we, on our last little adventure, made up that we were minister for Indigenous plants and minister for fungi and all sorts of things. And, just let our guard down, let ourselves be. And I think that makes for a really wonderful adventure. Brodwin says the friendships and fun on those adventures must be absolutely incredible and memorable. And it is, Brodwin, but you don't have to go on a multi-day adventure to get those friendships and get that fun. And, you get what you get is what you put in. And I know that the friendships that we've formed, Brod, on book club are quite amazing. And we're all getting in there and we're sharing each other's, we're sharing amazing and meaningful conversation as we talk about books and books as they relate to travel and our own life experiences. So yes, we get that magnified on a multi-day adventure, but I truly believe that the community that we have with Women's Fitness Adventures is if you guys know how to describe it, then please do. But I can't quite describe it. It is a magic that happens. It is a values that happen. It is a I guess a general willingness of everyone who is involved to be supportive and be encouraging, be non-judgmental, and really, seek out what's best for society. And we encapsulate into this Women's Fitness Adventures community that is all about building and lifting women up to be the best version of their outdoor self that they can be. So the myths that we tell ourselves, the stories that we tell ourselves, I have to be fit, I've never hiked before, I don't have time. No one has time. We make the time. You don't live near me. And that to me is a crock because I know, Bron, you don't live near me. I know that Leanne, who just completed the overland track and skilled up with, all of our foundation fitness and functional fitness, it was so successful on the overland track. We hear stories like this all the time. Our members in America don't live near me. And if we teach a person to fish, we feed them for life. And when we teach our hiking skills and our training and our conversations and our community, you have those skills for life. And the Couch to Mountain program, which kicks off after this tonight, our first one, does teach that. It changes the story that we tell ourselves. It changes it in that. And it's a bit why everyone needs a coach as well, that anything is possible. And anything becomes possible, and anything has then become a reality and a memory, and we've moved on to something new. So first insight, I did it for myself. And Bron had said it there, stepping into me. The stories we tell ourselves. And we can justify anything. I said that to my husband. If you want to buy something, whatever it is, talk to that person. If you don't want to buy something, that person will talk you out of it. So you actually have to decide yourself the story that you want, and you can seek justification either way. It's really easy to do. And then the third insight is that everyone needs a coach, and that coach can be for whatever it is. And sure, we're talking hiking and fitness and adventures here and community, but also, if you want to learn a language, it's easier with a coach. If you want to be a runner, it's easier with a coach. If you want to, be a singer, it's easier with a coach. If you want to accelerate in your job at work, it's easier with a boss who's a great leader or a mentor or someone like that. And a coach makes all the difference. And I have a coach I think there's this thing of, who are the 5 people that you really need in your life? 5 coaches or 5 different areas in your life. And, I have a business coach. I have a personal trainer who looks out for me. who you guys get the benefit of, because he and I work together to ensure that my body stays strong, that it stays injury-free for hiking and all the things that I do. And my knowledge of women in fitness and outdoor fitness, and my knowledge being a personal trainer, but also how that applies to me, is all you guys get all the benefit of that as a member. I also, I have a voice coach, and not quite singing yet. And if I was ever to learn an instrument, I'd have a coach there as well. But the coach can make a difference. And, as I said before, there's a big difference between a 2 to 3 day hike, a 5 to 6, and then an 8, 9, or 10 hike. And that is in terms of not only, as we always say, hiker's mindset, but in terms of fitness and what gear and equipment are needed and all sorts of things like that. And so our Adventure Ready 100K hike will launch very soon, and that is actually a training program around how to go. I think our first one is 133 kilometers day pack, but which teach the skills over a 6-month period to be able to achieve that hike successfully, injury-free, and to be able to get up day after day after day. One of the things when everybody needs a coach is a coach will also tell you or share with you or guide you or transfer skills of what you need at that point in time. So a coach will allow you to see the big picture, but a coach will also take you through the micro steps of how you get from point A to B, or how you get from a point of pain to a point of joy as well. And a coach will ensure that you're consistent. It's okay to, get that base level of fitness and then maintain that base level of fitness. But if we get to a level of fitness and then drop out again, and then decide we're doing something and try and come back up, these big peaks and troughs are really hard to, the body has to work so much harder. So by maintaining this level here, it really just keeps the status quo. It's not too much to step up. And if we step, if illness or injury gets us, and we step down a little bit, we're able to come back to this status quo quite quickly. And Janine and Leanne, who were both on the Great Ocean Road hike, Janine had some time off due to medical issues. And, this was about 5 weeks out, I think, from the adventure, and was, unsure whether she would be able to go on the hike and then complete it. And Leanne had COVID about a month before. And for those of you who have had COVID, it hangs around a little bit longer than you think. And, hadn't been able to exercise during that time. But because they had been consistent with their training, they kept this base level, they kept this status quo, they'd played the long game with their fitness, not the short, quick fix, because that doesn't work. And that's where injuries can occur. But the long game, they were able to step back in to that adventure and complete it successfully. Circling all the way back to my first insight, I did it for myself and Merline's story. I've been Merline's coach for over 15 years now. Firstly, when she worked out at my gym for 7 years, and then for the past 8 years with Women's Fitness Adventures. And Merline won't mind me saying that she has a significant birthday coming up. And because she has been doing her fitness training, her strength training, her, looking after herself, her future self for, probably since her 50s, she is so strong and so capable and can, this will sound like Survivor, outwit, outlast, and outplay, any female on the trail, because she has been giving herself permission to do something for herself, permission to change her story, and permission to have a coach as well. So the insights are all kind of, go Merline, are all linked together. And, that stories we tell ourselves is, it is with anything. And I don't know about you, but last night I got home from the Great Ocean Road and it was a hot night in Brisbane. There was no sound on the Great Ocean Road. We're staying in nice accommodation. It was very quiet, and, get home to the city and there's sounds of everything. I couldn't sleep very well. And it was 1:15 or something, and I got up and I went, I'm starting to tell myself stories. And those stories that you tell yourself in the middle of the night, does anyone here have those stories? They're not great stories. And, they're the stories that we need to rewrite. They're the stories that are the stories of doubt and the stories of fear and the stories of discomfort as well. So, we need to just keep changing that record player. So hopefully you've gained something from my insights here. These are based on, stories and talking with, I would say, thousands of women over the past 15 years and many women over the past 8 years with Women's Fitness Adventures, that it's really important to do something for yourself. There'll be 5 more insights because there's 8, to tell yourself the right story. Who do you want to be? Whatever that is, related to us or not related to us, but who do you want to be? And I know that when I talk to women, they don't want to be the person sitting on the couch. They want to be the active person with stories to tell, with books in them, whether they're written or not, with tales around the campfire, whether it's an indoor heater or an actual outdoor campfire. Roanne says, and Merlene, if you're watching, I find Merlene has been an inspiration for me since joining Women's Fitness Adventures. And if you know Merlene, you'll know she's an absolute beautiful woman. So before I finish off, if you are watching and you're not a member, and I know there's a lot of people watching who haven't identified themselves, I can't see you. It would be nice to know who you are, because you can see me. So please go ahead and make a comment, or where you're watching from, or if this is your first time. We have a book club on tomorrow night for our members. So it's our first one, Why Women Walk, and I've been listening to it. And it's really, I am looking forward to tomorrow night's book club. Lots of conversation to be had around that. Really quite interesting. And we have, as I said, our girls heading off to Ningaloo. It's our 8th anniversary month. So look out for some more things. Our member bingo challenge is in its 2nd week, and chance to win the August book for book club. Loving that everyone is loving our new foundation moves that have been put onto the website. We've also got our Iceland trip coming up in July, which is pretty exciting, and lots of other little surprises in the pipeline. The masterclass is next week, which is all about motivation, and I do hope you'll join me for that, because I often hear that people have no motivation, and we talk about motivation all the time. So I do hope you'll join me for that. And if you aren't a member, then you can join. Just click on the website, womensfitnessadventures.com/join membership. So if you think about the insights for the next couple of days and want to share anything, then you can drop it back in here, or just drop us an email or tag us in the Facebook group. But remember, we all do the same. We think that we can't, so we don't. We probably go the doubting shoulder rather than the yes you can shoulder. We will seek to nurture and nourish all of those around us before ourselves, and I spoke about that last week. We need to put fun, big capital F, back into our life. And when I asked a couple of our Great Ocean Road girls what it was about the adventure that they liked the most, they couldn't actually describe it. They couldn't say whether it was that they were proud of themselves, most proud of themselves, or that they did it, or the other things that they got out of it. It's very hard to describe, and it's not something you can actually describe. But as I said, whether you are involved in a multi-day, whether you're involved in our online active, whether you are involved in our in-person, or a combination of all 3, you get out of anything what you put into it. And, I think you'll find that magic opens with anything when you put more into it. Anyway, that is enough from me. Beth says hi from muggy Queensland. Lorelei and Annie just joined in, and so we'll watch the replay. So thank you, everyone, for joining me tonight. I will be back next week. I might have some special guests next week. You never know. And I am off to chat with our Couch to Mountain December crew right now. So Thanks for watching. I look forward to catching up with you soon. Thanks. Bye.